All right, look, we all know that tequila and cars do not mix unless you think about it in a sustainable way, and that's what Debbie Molesky of Ford is doing. And we're not really talking tequila, but you do have an agreement with Jose Cuervo. And let's explain that first of all, because it's fascinating.
Yeah, so my job is to replace the 400 pounds of petroleum-based plastics in cars with more sustainable options, and we've been doing that for 15 years. In this case, we've been working with Jose Cuervo, the tequila maker and a sweetener maker, to use the fiber that's left over after they finish extracting the juice from the agave plant. And those are really tough, natural fibers that are lightweight, and we are able to put them into plastics and mold components for cars.
So let's actually take a look at, this is what is left over from the tequila making process. So how would you use that?
Yeah, so the fiber is compounded with plastic materials, and then we can mold parts out of it. And as you can see, the parts are actually pretty attractive.
Yeah, they are. They've got a little sheen to them.
Yeah, so we're thinking about different trim on various battery electric vehicles so that customers that are eco-conscious can actually see where they're being eco-conscious in the vehicle.
So as you mentioned, this is something you've been doing for a while. So let's actually look on the hood of this car. You have soy, cellulose. Where are these things being used?
Yeah, so every single North American built vehicle that Ford Motor Company makes has soybean oil in the seat cushions, backs, and headrests. So we started with the Ford Mustang in 2008, and we're super proud to have put it on every single vehicle, about 31,000 soybeans in a typical vehicle. We replaced glass fiber filled composites, which are very dense, very heavy materials, with cellulose from trees in the armrests of the Lincoln MKX. And this is a really stiff, high quality material, lighter in weight, better for the planet because we're using trees instead of petroleum.
I love this one here, coconut shell.
Yeah, so coconut shells, either the shell can be pulverized into a powder or we can use the fiber itself, and that is being used in the Ford battery Focus as part of the trunk mats. Rice hulls was introduced in the brand new F-150 last year, the aluminum F-150, as part of the electrical brackets. And so these rice hulls come from after the food portion is harvested, and we grow a lot of rice in this country. So we're supplying American farmers with revenue streams that they never dreamed of.
You're also looking at several other materials. I'm going to hand this to you. It's windy out here, so I've been holding the Algae square, but what are you thinking about with this product?
So, it takes millions of years to make standard petroleum. It has to form underground. We thought we were being really cute when we went to soy, which can be grown in 3 months, but algae reproduces in 4 times its weight in 24 hours. So the whole idea here is never being material constrained, never being limited in what you have available. And so algae is this foam is made with 25% algae. It's actually pretty good. And then we're also looking at bamboo, which is also a really fast growing plant. So 4 inches a day, they say you can sit and watch it grow.
This, though, I love, because we're right by Wall Street, and I never get to say, show me the money, but look, I can do it right now. This is shredded money. What are you doing with that? You could, glue it all back together if you wanted to.
Yeah, it sounds
or you could do something
goofy,
else.
But really, thousands of pounds of currency is being taken out of circulation. It's too worn to be used anymore. It's shredded by the U.S. government and shipped to us to utilize. It was once a plant. It's linen and cotton, very strong fiber. Why not use it instead of burning it and producing CO2 and putting it into the atmosphere? And so we're molding components. This is not in production yet, but we're hoping at some point to produce coin trays that have money already in them.
I love that. That's so cute. Now, this is also fascinating. I mean, this is it's almost a little bit weird, but you're helping out the farmers again.
Yeah, so this one is a partnership with Heinz, and they squeeze 2 billion pounds of tomatoes to produce our ketchup each and every year. This is the stems, the seeds, and the peels from that process. We dry them, compound them, put them into plastic as a reinforcement as well. And so we're hoping to get that in some of our components.
And how about this?
This is the way far out one. So what's the big human problem? Global warming, carbon dioxide. This foam, we take carbon dioxide and we actually make a polymer. We're working with a company called Novomer to do that. We've been working with them for years, but just recently we've been able to produce foams that have really good properties that have 50% carbon dioxide. So instead of emitting it, now we can make materials from it.
Debbie, let's turn around and look at the car for a minute and tell me exactly what's in the car now of these sustainable materials. Where in the car would you find some of these products right now?
So this is a 2016 Ford Escape, and it's loaded with biomaterials, although customers probably don't know it. So the seat cushions, backs, and headrests all have soybeans in them. Some of the gaskets have both recycled tire, crumb, and soy in them. The fabric, the headliner, all are using recycled pop bottles and soda bottles, as well as the carpet.
And in terms of cost for some of these products, let's break that down in terms of how that's beneficial.
Yeah, so we try to launch the product at cost equivalent, so the product's not going to cost more. And that's why a lot of these are other people's byproducts or waste products. I never think of them as waste. They're high quality materials. And so I think we can provide performance, durability, the customer will never be disappointed, and yet it's better for the environment. Doesn't have to cost more.
And let's throw a little history in there because you and I were talking about Henry Ford, who kind of thought about sustainability way back then.
Yeah, so back in the 1940s, Henry Ford really deserves the credit for being the inventor of utilizing plant-based materials. He lived it, he breathed it, and we have, Bill Ford is still very active within our company. He's a big proponent of doing what you can wherever you can for the environment.
And Debbie, it's very impressive looking at some of these materials. When does the agave, when does the money, when does the tomatoes, when will we actually see them? And do we have a target in terms of a model year where more of these materials will make it into the vehicles?
So I think you're just going to see more and more introductions of these materials on Ford products. We wanted to show you kind of the realm of what we're working on and dreaming on in the lab, but we already have 8 materials in production vehicles, and so we're just going to continue to roll them out year by year when they're ready.
I'm never going to think of tequila, coconuts, money, or tomatoes the same. Debbie Molesky, it's been great chatting with you about Ford's sustainability program.
Thanks so much.